Hello Big Shavers, this is my first video and I hope you like it. I know there's been a little bit of talk about one of my creations. I kind of dabble with a few things and I created a handle, a couple of handles. They are just made out of carriage bolts and a carriage bolt and nuts. I'm just trying to devise a way to get it together to make it work right, and any ideas you got, I'd appreciate it. Today's shave I'm going to do, I already pre-shaved with Noxzema generic. It's Equate. It's got eucalyptus oil in it, and I've used it a few times. I really have just started using it. Before, all I ever thought of Noxzema was for women to remove their makeup or to put on a sunburn. That's what my mom used to always put on a sunburn. But, the blade I'm going to use today is something new for me. It's a Gillette 7 o'clock, sharp edge, and I tend to prefer a sharper blade. Us older guys, once we start getting the gray hairs, our beard and our hair gets a lot thicker and a lot tougher. So I find that I like smooth blades, but the sharper ones just seem to have less irritation. And I know it's scary. Going back, I love things historical. I love old fountain pens, the old razors, anything that interests something old and interesting. I really get into that. And so the vintage classic wet shaving is right up my alley. But I kind of collected a few things. One of the things that was near and dear to my heart that I just kept in the drawer, I never really used, was my dad's old Fat Boy. My dad died whenever I was 8, so I didn't get the experience of learning how to shave from him. And since meeting you guys online, it's opened a whole new world to me. I got a whole box full of razors from my uncle. And I tried to use them. There's some single edge, there's some double edge, but man, as a 14, 15-year-old sticking a razor blade in one of these DEs and not having any instruction, it was a bloody mess. It was St. Valentine's Day Massacre on your hands there. And I just stuck them in the box, forgot about them, and started using the cartridges, because at least I could push down real hard and not cut myself to death every time. I was sure it was all I knew. My uncle taught me how to use an electric razor. He bought me an electric razor. I used that for years, and it's only been within the past 6-8 weeks that I started watching the videos. Steve and everybody else that's on Big Shave. Paul, I've watched a lot of his videos. It's an experience that it's just enjoyable. And I've fallen into line and kind of learned how to do it quite a bit. The razor I'm using is just an old type nickel-plated open comb. I find I like the open combs better. I'm going to try to use the Williams mug. I'm going to use the number 6 Turkish Horsehair, and try to use that with the Williams mug. Don't know how it's going to turn out. Hopefully yeah, I'll get the right mixture here. But this is a learning process, and we just have to try it. And if it don't work, try it again. So I got it pretty well loaded up here, and let's try some face lather. I'm slinging it all over the place, it looks like. You know, a lot of times I'll put some glycerin in the shave cream to kind of make an uber lather. And a lot of times I'll mix cream with soap and just kind of experiment around. This is not doing too bad here. I usually don't face lather. I usually use a bowl. But, that's not doing too bad here. See how, a lot of times if I don't get enough water in it, then you know it dries out, and I think that's the secret with Williams. So let's see how it goes. My beard has some strange properties to it. My second pass that I'll be doing is going to be upwards, south to north. That's why most people think that is their third pass. But my beard, mostly down along here, it kind of grows sideways, kind of out this way. So what people look at and traditionally think is across the grain is actually different for me. And I've got a spot down on my neck that just, it can't decide which direction it wants to go. It goes in a merry-go-round. I always have trouble crossing my body. And it's not like it's got a short distance to go. I got a big body. But that was one of the things I've had to try to learn a little bit and get some muscle memory going. And I've tried it with my left hand, and it just doesn't work that well. Another part of my beard that's the hardest is right underneath my chin. I can get a baby butt shave just about every place else, and really have to spend some time going back over that area to get a really smooth shave. Let me rinse off a little bit. I always find rinsing off kind of helps a little bit. And really the whole secret of getting irritation-free shave is how much hydration you got going on. You can have everything else, the most expensive products and all that, but if you don't have enough water involved, then you're in trouble. So now I kind of go across. This is my final. The 7 o'clock bait, it's pretty good. And I think also too, because I'm crossing my body, a lot of times I have a harder time getting baby smooth because getting a right angle as I cross. Also, I forgot to say, as my pre, I'll take a shower, then I'll put conditioner on my hair, and I put it on my beard and my mustache. And I find that helps tame my mustache too, by softening it up and keeping it hydrated. That's not too bad. Or maybe couple of spots. I've got a spot right there that it just jumps up and grabs the blade every once in a while. And it's where I had an old nick, or a pimple or something, and it's just kind of created some scar tissue. And we've all got those. And then I've got my spot down here. I can kind of J-hook that a little bit sometimes and get a baby smooth. You just have to play with it a little bit, just real light and gentle strokes. And it gets pretty well. And I don't know if I pay a whole lot more attention as to whether or not I got a baby smooth shave. And I think before, I just didn't pay any attention. You just knock the hairs off, do a one pass with a multi-blade razor, and call it quits, and that's the end of it. Do cold water, close up the pores, and dry off a little bit. And then I take a little bit of witch hazel and I put it in one of these little bottles. And this is just an old liquor bottle. I go and buy interesting little liquor sampler things, and I put the witch hazel in there, and then I add stuff like a tiger. I just squirt it in there. Maybe a sixth of that little bottle, little Lucky Tiger. It cuts down the different smell, and I know I can buy different aromas, but of the witch hazel, but they're not available around here. I live in Oklahoma City area, and even though we've got a lot of poverty around here, and it would be a benefit to people to get into double-edged razors and shaving and not spending all that money on the cartridge razors, people are just unaware of it, and they're spending what money they do have on the cheapo ones, getting terrible shaves, and consequently the only shaving products that are really available are just a spattering of things around. We've got one shop in town that is more upscale, the more expensive products. And then I found this Brut Dominant aftershave. My wife doesn't like the traditional smells, and this kind of smells like Fahrenheit. Expensive cologne, about $55 for 1.7 ounces. But it does, it smells a lot like it. And, you know, it's just your traditional little aftershave. It's got some lingering smell. But that's my shave of the day. You'll find out if I post this. It being my first one. But hope you have a good day, and God bless.